Hello again, and welcome back to Illegally Sighted. This is Jesse, and I am back for another Low Vision Spotlight game video. And if you can't tell by the music, if you're a classic gamer fan, as I am, we are looking at a Double Dragon game, because this catchy music. And I didn't even know this was a thing. I was perusing games during the Steam Summer Sale, and I saw, I was looking at some brawlers, beat 'em ups, whatever you want to call them, and there were some Double Dragon games, and I saw Double Dragon Advance. And usually when I think, Double Dragon Advance, I was thinking, well, is this a Game Boy Advance port to PC of all things? Because back in the GBA days, that's what you would have, is you had Mario Advance and Double Dragon Advance, and there were so many. I mean, I can't even remember, but there were tons of games that just sort of used this Advance moniker for their naming scheme. But apparently, that is what this is, and so we're just gonna hit start here. 2003. That does sound about right. So we do have a main menu here. We can... Wait, what? All right, one player. Okay. It's weird. Some of these games, you can't just use the A button. You got to actually use start. Classic intro. The gang members just punch Marion in the gut. And then, just walk off with her. So this game, I don't even remember if I played Double Dragon Advance. I might have rented it back in the day because there was a couple of gaming services like GameFly and stuff like that where you could rent. Remember back when games came on discs and cartridges? But yeah, so I might have rented this. I don't remember. I mean, of course, I've played Double Dragon 1 and 2 and 3 on the NES. I'm almost certain I covered the Double Dragon Trilogy collection, also available on Steam on the channel at some point. And those were the arcade games, and this one kind of seems to be a mixture of both the arcade and aspects of the NES game. I don't even remember, I have not played a lot of the Double Dragon arcade game, so I can't remember all the layouts and stuff of the stages and whatnot. Hey, quit kicking me here. Yeah. Yeah. Grab you and wreck you, son. I mean, you can tell this is a Game Boy Advance game, kind of by the audio alone. There was so many amazing soundtracks back in the day on the GBA. I remember a lot of the Castlevania games. Circle of the Moon, Aria of Sorrow. The second one was not very good. That music was kind of bad. But there were a lot of good games that had really good soundtracks, but the problem was the cartridge format. They was so compressed, that you can kind of tell, there's just this sort of, I don't know if I would say muffled, but lo-fi compressed aspect to the audio in a lot of these games, which is a shame because I would love to hear, the uncompressed music for a lot of these games. So it's kind of cool if a lot of these remasters would come back and include the decompressed, original versions of the files if they had them. Okay. I got my weapon here, so that's always good. Hey. We're doing okay so far. Oh geez. Boss music. I don't know what that's about. But I'm gonna try to keep on this weapon as long as I can. Ah, no! damn barrel. You're gonna pay for that, sir. Okay, give me your weapon here. Ow. Not cool, bro. Ugh. Ugh. And the thing I don't like about this is there are aspects of the controls that are extremely stiff. Especially the jump. It took me even forever to figure out how to jump. I was tinkering with this just a couple minutes earlier today, and I'm getting I was doing really well, and now I'm just getting my ass kicked. Use your verticality here. Move up and down. That's the key to these beat 'em up. Hey! Take your whip and shove it where it doesn't shine there, lady. There we go. The jumping, I mean, the jumping has always been bad in the Double Dragon games, and that was I think the most frustrating part of pretty much any Double Dragon game. Like the first couple levels, you were playing a beat 'em up, it was great, and then they would throw this bullshit in where it's like, oh, guess what? You get to jump over pits, and you get to avoid walls that push in and out and then knock you into a pit, or just a bunch of cheap bullshit where, like, you know, if you miss the jump, you automatically lose a life because you fell in some spikes or some crap like that. And I always felt that was really cheap. I mean, whether that was the arcade game, whether that was the NES games, like Double Dragon 2 on the NES. Love the game, but goddamn, man, some of those, that mansion level or whatever, where you had those disappearing Mega Man style blocks, where you had to jump from one block to the other. It was like a pattern, and then you had to do it quick enough. Plus, you had the Double Dragon just stiff-ass controls. I mean, that was kind of some grade A bullshit there. Grade A bullshit. Hey, did I say you could kick me off of there? Punk. I mean, I like how big the sprites are. Hey, come over here. I mean, you can tell, like, if you have any familiarity with the NES version, there are definitely aspects of this that really reminds you of it, but it almost kind of reminds me more of the arcade as well. Get off of me, you prick. Blech. There we go. Got me a weapon, too. Hey! Yeah, and then I jinx it. Get it knocked out of my hand. Okay, we gotta... Alright, lost another life. That's a good meaty thunk, thunk, thunk sound. Alright, we got our weapon. Oh, the jumping is just... Not gonna lie, it's not great. Especially for, you know, like, a lot of these beat-em-ups, you have an air con... God dang it. Okay, I'm getting really tired of you guys knocking me back here. I'm gonna start booting you guys in the face. Ow. Or I could just keep getting wrecked. That works too. This definitely seems more arcade-based, because the NES game was, as far as the fighting goes, was, I don't want to say forgiving, but it was easier. And of course, you know, arcade games, they were meant to munch your quarters, so there was always some cheap bullshit with these types of games. Like, oh yeah, they have a lot of health, or they do cheap attacks, or whatever. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, there you go. Blink out of existence. Uh-oh. See, I can't... And you can only... It's like I can only jump to the right and left. I can't seem to jump and then go up. I don't know, man. It's weird. Not a fan of the jumping controls in this game at all. And I don't know what kind of jumping shenanigans they're going to give me later on. Okay, that's bad. Okay, we'll get out of that guy's way. Get out. Okay, we'll kill him. I said. And, okay, well, I guess we're going to die again. Awesome. No, get off the... Oh, okay, I didn't know I could climb that ladder. Okay, we gotta... Ugh. Lot of dudes. Alright, blinked somebody out of existence at least. Uh-oh. No. There we go. So you can kind of do a jump kick, but it's so stiff. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Come on. Oh, for God's sake, man. Died again. Bum, bum, bum. I want to stay off of that conveyor belt because it will zoom you off into the into a pit, and then you will lose a life. So we don't want to do that. Wow. Talk about cheap. I didn't look to see if there's any difficulty settings either, and I'm just getting pummeled in the corner. I can't even... Oh, shit, and then... Okay, there's a drop-off. I fell. That was my fault. I was trying to move away from these a-holes, and then I end up killing myself. Okay, we're thinning them out at least. Yeah, go off the conveyor belt and die. Okay, here we go. Now we get a boss. Let's see if I can survive this. You think the kick would work really well, but it doesn't. I mean, the punch is a shorter range, but it seems to stun them more than your kick does. Ouch. And I died again. Awesome. Okay, you need to move, dude. There we go. Swift boot to the ass. There we go. Uh-oh. Come on, get up. Oh yeah, you do your shoulder charge. God dang it, man. They get you, like, if they get you in a combo, you can't even move. Like, that's how they kill you. There's hardly any iframes at all. Like, you just, oh no, what, you got up again? Oh, we're just gonna keep slapping the bejesus out of you. Fuck. I mean, I picked this up for, like, I think $2 during a sale, so it's like, I don't regret it. It's just, it's a neat thing to have, but man, I mean, I've played so many beat 'em ups since, and this just feels so stiff by comparison. It's not horrible, and if I played it enough, I'm sure I could get used to it, but damn, son. Oh, I think I got an extra life or something. I heard a happy sound there. Yeah, kick you. Yep, shoulder charge me. Yep, that's exactly what I want. Yep, do it again. Instantaneously, so I can't even move. Awesome, sir. Die, you big piece of crap. So do we go to the jungle now, like in the NES game? Some text dialogue. Don't really care. Just a reason to beat up dudes, basically. Oh no, okay, this is not the jungle level. Interesting. Alright. I am genuinely curious, based on the way this game is, I'm curious like how much they take from the arcade game and the NES game, and especially the second half of the game, how much platforming bullshit is there, because that's the thing that always ruined Double Dragon games for me. Is, oh yeah, the combat's fun, but then you get to the platforming and it's like, oh god. Just gotta keep moving up and down. Okay, that guy. Hey, hey! Unacceptable, sir. Okay. We'll see how far I get. I'm guessing I don't have infinite continues. I'm not even looking really at the top of the screen at my stats. And, yep, up there. Oops. There we go. Boot to the face. I wonder... Oh, I can do that. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. If I double tap in a direction, it looks like I can run. Oh, that could be... Oh, yeah, and then I can just plow into people. Man, that didn't work. No, I was trying to move down, sir. There we go. Bash into him. Oh, come on, man. Get up, sir. Get up, Bimmy. Still funny. Bimmy and Jimmy. That's so good. It's so stupid. And literally that was like the first screen when you hit start on the Double Dragon 3 NES. I'll never forget that. Bimmy and Jimmy. It's so dumb. Back away, dude. Ow, ow, ow. There we go. Get both of them. There we go. I mean, I'm getting used to it. Again, if I played this for a while, like if, you know, I didn't have gazillions of other games to play right now because they're just everywhere these days. You know, you picked up, back then, you picked up a game and you played the hell out of it. Because, especially back then, like, that's all I could afford. I couldn't afford to just be like, oh, let me get a couple of indie games, or, you know, there were no downloadable games back then. This was, you pick up, back in those days, the Game Boy Advance, GameCube days, it was, for me anyway, it was, you look at E3, and you like, okay, there's like maybe 3 or 4 titles in a year. These are my must-have games, and because I was so dirt poor, it was always a thing of like, okay, well, I have to save my money for these, and I basically have to either rent or just not play, or hope maybe one of my friends bought some of the other games so I could play them, because I could not afford. It's so funny. I was talking to someone about this the other day. It wasn't even about games. It was something else. But it was like back then in college, I had all the time in the world. Yeah, I had classes and stuff, but I mean, we would hang out with our college friends and would hang out, we'd play games and watch movies and all kinds of stuff. And so we had a whole bunch of time. but no money. And now I'm actually making a good living right now, which I'm very, very thankful for. But it's the time, you know, it's like I've got my work, I've got my YouTube stuff, I've got drums, I want to read. I mean, there's so many things I want to do. I want to exercise, I want to play drums. And I died again. Oh, for God's sake. Yeah, back then you had no time or no money, and now I want time. Like, I could take a month off of work, and I still wouldn't get through an eighth of what I wanted to, you know, not just play, but do. You know, there are projects that I've wanted to do for ages. Like, I've talked about writing a book at some point. I think it would be fun to write a kind of like almost like a memoir slash personal history of assistive technology. I've toyed with that idea before. I don't know. There's just so many other things I've thought about doing. You know, I've thought about, there was that game. I think it's probably dead at this point because I haven't heard about it in ages. I streamed it way back. God, was that before or was that after Riley was up here? I think it was even before. But it was like, remember that game where you could create? They had a demo thingy out for like a month, and you could kind of create your own RPG, your own accessible RPG. Sable, that's what it was called. And I don't know whatever happened to it. It must have gone under because I haven't heard of shit. I haven't heard of that in probably at least 2-3 years. But I was like, oh yeah, I want to, you know, create an accessible game at some point. Say that I designed a game, just, you know, kind of take that off my bucket list. I mean, I know I'm just kind of babbling, but, you know, there's not much else to say. It's a beat 'em up. It's Double Dragon. You kind of know what to... Oh, dear God. You kind of know what to expect. Except for now we're on top of a moving train or bus. Oh, train. And, yeah, we are probably going to die because we're going to get punched or kicked off. More than likely. At some point here. So I foresee things not going well for me pretty soon. And they already are not going... Oh, God, these guys are cheap. And by cheap, I mean a royal pain in my ass. Oops, yep, falling off. Yep, exactly. I think I will just wrap up the video here pretty soon, but I just figured I would show you guys, of all things, a Game Boy Advance port of Double Dragon that came to, I think, probably other consoles, but, like, it just seems weird to say. A Game Boy Advance port of a game that comes to PC, of all things. I know we had the Double Dragon trilogy, but, yeah, that is just bizarre. So, yeah, I think we're going to quit here. I don't know if we have unlimited continues or what, but this is... If you want to play Double Dragon, there are far better games. I like Double Dragon Neon, Double Dragon... Well, 4 was okay, but then they had that platforming crap later on. I covered it fairly recently. It came out in the last year, 6 months to a year. It was kind of a Double Dragon roguelite, kind of yeah, something like that, but that was a cool one. Streets of Rage 4 is another really great brawler. I mean, just check out my Low Vision Spotlight videos. There's tons of beat 'em ups, brawlers, you know, of course your TMNT games. But yeah, if you want Double Dragon, there are other ones to play. This one, it's fine, and I would have played it back in the day, but for what it is, it just feels really stiff. It feels really stiff gameplay wise, and so like I said, I don't regret buying it. I got it for $2-3. big deal. But anyway, yeah, Double Dragon Advance of all things. It's on Steam. You can get it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a like if you did. Follow me on Twitter at BGFH79, twitch.tv/illegally-cited, illegally-cited.com, and of course right here on YouTube. Until next time, I will chat with everybody again later.